Welcome back, folks. Just a quick little update for some of you that might be waiting for some good news. I got an email from SpaceX that might just be what you're waiting for. Check it out. So here's a little update to share with everyone. We recently got an email from Starlink just letting us know about some of the changes that they're in the process of making or improvements that they've made recently. I thought it was kind of nice that they're keeping in touch with the beta testers to let us know what's going on and things that we may or may not have noticed on our own. Uh, One thing I found interesting here is that they're in the process of repositioning more than 500 satellites in an effort to improve coverage and decrease outages. I did notice in my Starlink app that I have had more downtime due to no satellites recently, and this email would certainly explain that. The outages are very short term, just a matter of a couple of minutes here and there, and yeah, so that kind of explained what's going on there, which is kind of neat. They've made improvements to their network address translation types for online gaming. They've made improvements to Xbox Live, made improvements to user latency, and made improvements to their snow melt mode. And I haven't had any issue with that. We're still waiting for a big storm here. I haven't had one yet. I've had a little bit of snow and ice here and there, and the dish has had absolutely no problem keeping itself clear. With the amount that we've had. So that's working great for me now. And they're saying that that we can keep our eyes open for more improvements in the first quarter of 2021. And here's some news too that a lot of people would probably be happy to hear is that they're hoping to bring an expansion to the beta program also in the first quarter of 2021. So maybe a lot of you that are out there waiting for your turn, keep an eye on your email. It could be coming your way very soon. I hope, anyway. More people that get to enjoy this system, the better. And it's working great here. I thought I'd grab a couple more of these speed tests just for fun. I've run a million of these things, and everything is still working good. We're still in the typically in the 50 to 150 megabit range as advertised. I've had a couple of really good experiences. I've managed to crack 200 megabits a few times. I did take some screen captures of those that I'll add into the video, just because it's kind of cool. It still may not compare with fiber or some of the other really high-speed options that are out there, but when you're sitting out in the woods, yeah, man, these are pretty damn impressive speeds. So, I'm not going to complain. Been very happy. As I indicated in probably my first video, I mean, my primary use for the internet is probably for streaming video, Netflix type of stuff, and this system just works great for that, even with the occasional outage or blocked signal or whatever that might come along. As far as streaming goes, most of the time things are buffered far enough ahead that you don't even really notice it. So, that would have an effect on the gamers out there, but that's not my world, so I don't really spend a lot of time worrying about that. But I've been pretty happy with the way everything else has been working. I see the ping and that one's a little high, but yeah, I've got I bookmarked a site here that actually has a list of their top speed test sites. So I've been going through and playing with some of these other ones. The first one, obviously, is speedtest.net. It's their number one. The Speed of Me site is it looks a little different, but it's still kind of neat. I don't pretend to know exactly the difference in methodology between this site and other sites, but you know, it does the same thing. It measures your download speed and your upload speed, and provides you with results. And I find a lot of the times, no matter which one of these sites I use, the results are typically pretty consistent. So it doesn't really seem to make a whole lot of difference. I have noticed one thing that does make a difference is the device you're using. Right now I'm on my desktop PC, which is a Dell XPS that's only about a year old. It seems to work pretty good. I see I must have dropped the signal there again. My upload has stopped. So anyway, the speed tests on my cell phone and PC and laptop are all compatible. I've run a few speed tests on my NVIDIA Shield Stream box, and it tends to be slower, but I don't believe that it's the network or the Starlink system. I think it's the device itself. But anyway, this it's kind of a neat list. You know, you're not relying on just one site, just one test, and it's kind of neat to see it go through these different types of well, visually different types of speed tests anyway. And they give you different types of output. I mean, this one compares it to your you know, the U.S. average, my city average, my host average, and whatnot. So it's kind of neat. They're all a little different, I guess, in their visual appearance. Look at that. We were hitting hard on that one. Well over 200. Yeah, that was kind of neat to see these different tests. See what they look like. I mean, this one here is obviously it's run by the same as speedtest.net. I mean, it looks exactly the same, works the same. Yeah, look at that. We're going to crack 200 again, twice in a row. That's nice. Certainly don't mind that. Yes, sir. Not too bad at all. And this one here is visually, it's about as plain Jane as you can get. Very simple and straightforward. Yeah, there you go. Looks like I must have picked a pretty decent time to run some tests there too. We got a good connection right now. And then there's this one which some people love, some people hate. Seems to work all right, and I mean, you're looking at the numbers; they seem to be in line with the other two, and the default speed test app in the Starlink app is this one. So, I mean, if this wasn't at least reliable, I don't know why SpaceX would have included it. But anyway, I have no problem with it, and as you can see, the results on this one are in line with all the other results that I just received. So there we go. That's the way things are looking right now in this update. And I just stumbled across this site here, just doing a Google search. And that's it, broadband search. And whoever the author of this is provided in their opinion, the 7 best internet speed test sites. And I've been using this just so I'm not stuck on one. Yeah, it seems to be a pretty decent site. I know a lot of people have talked about this site too. I find this site is very cool. Satellitemap.space will get you here, and you can see all the Starlink satellites that are up there. There's a lot of them, and you just kind of zoom in on your area, and we're here in New Brunswick, and you can actually watch the satellites moving along, and you can kind of tell too when there's a gap in between the circles. It seems to be when you'll end up with no satellite outage for a minute or two, but it doesn't last very long. I think these puppies are up there and they're moving pretty quick. So if it does happen to you do happen to lose coverage, you're not going to lose it for long, and another one will move in and take over. But I think this is a pretty neat site. You can see too the tightly knit groups that are up there. I'm making the assumption that these are the most recent ones that were launched that just haven't reached their proper altitude and proper spacing yet. And you can see there's a few of them. You know, there's another group here. There's another group here, and over time they spread out and they find out where they're supposed to be. But that's a pretty neat site to keep an eye on if you're at all interested in that anyway. So I just thought I'd share that, and that will be pretty much the end of my update until I hear something more or something drastic happens. So thanks for watching, and thanks to the new subscribers that I've got. Hopefully this stuff is a little bit helpful or interesting for you, and if I hear any more, get any more information, or discover something new, I'll be sure to pass it along. Have a good one.